Hi, I'm Chief Anthony DeMonte of the Ottawa Paramedic Service. I want to thank you for taking the time to come here today and learn a valuable skill, one that saves lives. Every year we respond to over 1,200 calls for sudden cardiac arrests. That's an average of over 3 calls every day of the year where someone's heart stops. And when that happens, immediate intervention is crucial to increase the chance of survival. Dispatchers will send paramedics to the scene quickly, but the sooner CPR is started, the better the chance paramedics will be able to restart the heart. The skills you will learn make you a valuable resource for the community, your friends, and co-workers. Statistics have shown that over 80% of the time, a case of sudden cardiac arrest occurs in the home. So chances are you may use this skill on a family member. After today, you will know how to do CPR and do it well. Once again, I want to thank you for taking a few hours of your time to help save someone you know.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vaillancourt, emergency physician and researcher at the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute. Thank you for being here today. Did you know there are enough cardiac arrest victims each year to fill a large professional hockey arena? And for half of the victims, cardiac arrest is their first symptom of coronary disease. Only 1 in 10 victims survives. Why? Because not enough people do CPR. Thankfully, after today, you will know or be reminded of what to do. What you do can make the difference between life and death. A cardiac arrest victim is much more likely to survive if someone starts CPR before the paramedics arrive. Anybody can do CPR. If you remember only one thing from today, push hard and push fast on the chest. You don't even have to do mouth-to-mouth anymore if you don't want to or if you don't remember how. This reminds me to tell you one more thing. Most people think they'll have to do CPR on a stranger. Unfortunately, 85% of cardiac arrest happen at home. What this means is you're most likely to have to do CPR on a family member or someone you know. Even if cardiac arrest can happen at any age, most victims tend to be a little older, often in their late 60s. So when you leave here today, make sure you encourage someone you know in that age group to take a CPR class. Or even better, teach them what you've learned today. Every Canadian should be trained in CPR. It's a necessary life skill. But formally trained or not, everybody should at least start to push on the chest and do compressions. Nobody can get into trouble for doing CPR. How come? Because of the Good Samaritan law, who protects people who try to help others. And just remember, you cannot hurt someone who's already dead. And by the way, you will not catch an infection just by doing CPR. One last thing, it's very common for people around a cardiac arrest victim to look at each other and do nothing. This is no longer morally or socially acceptable. If you are around a cardiac arrest victim, you have to take action and start CPR. Have fun learning CPR today.
My name is John, this is my wife Susan, and this is our story.
In early 2012, as avid cyclists, my husband and I decided to go for a long bike ride. Halfway through our 40-kilometer trip, at this very spot, John suddenly collapsed from his bike, hitting the ground hard. I yelled for help. Unfortunately, I didn't know what to do. I never learned CPR. We were lucky. Within 30 seconds, a group of cyclists stopped and knew what to look for and do. They started CPR immediately. A passing OC Transport security vehicle was flagged down. They carry automatic external defibrillators. Shortly after, a paramedic arrived to John's aid. About 4 minutes after John's collapse, a shock was delivered. It took 2 other shocks to get his heart going again.
3 days later, I walked out of the hospital and returned home. Doctors were amazed that after 10 minutes of my heart not beating on its own, that they could find no tissue damage whatsoever.
That's what good CPR does. You'll never know when you'll need CPR skills. Chances are, it'll be on a loved one. John and I thank you for taking the time in learning this life-saving skill.
It's a good feeling to save somebody's life.
Ottawa call 4149.
4149, this is Ottawa, go ahead.
We're en route to hospital, code 4, CTAS 1, with a post-cardiac arrest. Bystanders started CPR on scene. We have a save, over.
149, that's great news. I'll notify the hospital right away.
10-4.